care fraud scheme worth $400 million.
This 2 years after Contact 5 investigator Katie Legrone exposed how the scam worked.
Who? To who? You have to have done it to someone, but there's no effort at all to uncover that.
I thought he should have been ashamed of himself. Then I watched Floyd Money Mayweather with Jim Gray. And I said, wait a minute. I smell something. Something seems a bit fishy.
No, money is what you smelled.
I smelled something.
Joe Rogan was left visibly stunned during a recent podcast episode as breaking news emerged that boxing legend Floyd Mayweather is being sued for his alleged involvement in a staggering $42 million fraud scheme. Known for his unfiltered takes and deep dives into celebrity scandals, Rogan couldn't hide his disbelief as details unfolded about the lawsuit, which accuses Mayweather of orchestrating a massive financial con involving false investments and deceptive partnerships.
Floyd Mayweather. He's the only guy who's been able to just be balling out of control, constantly flashing money, $1 million watches, a fleet of super expensive cars, and still freaks everybody out. The thing about Floyd is he never lost his discipline. Floyd would famously run home from the nightclub. So he would go out in Vegas, he'd be partying, it would look like a party, he's drinking water, and then he would have his driver drive, and with his pants on, jeans on, he would jog home. And the dude was always trained.
Joe Rogan, a major voice in combat sports, has often broken down the career and fighting style of Floyd Mayweather. Over the years, Rogan's analysis has offered a clear perspective on how Mayweather evolved as a fighter and where he stands among the greatest in boxing history.
I mean, he fought Logan Paul. Logan Paul weighs 200 plus pounds.
And he turned the shit out of Logan Paul's neck. Like
Crazy.
Like, wow. And I think he held him up like, hey, man, don't fall because you'll mess the money up.
If they were the same size, I think Floyd would have knocked him out. Logan was so big.
Oh,
he was so much bigger than him.
But them shots, though, was
It's so crazy to see a guy who is the best boxer of all time having a fight with this super athletic, gigantic YouTube kid. I mean, look at the size difference. It's insane.
Early stages of his career, Floyd Mayweather was known as Pretty Boy because of his incredible defensive skills, which allowed him to avoid taking serious damage. Joe Rogan has pointed out that during this phase, Mayweather combined that defense with explosive speed and sharp offensive ability, often overwhelming opponents with fast, precise combinations. This period showed how he could dominate not just with skill, but also with aggression and control inside the ring.
Things that people forget is that Floyd went through a big transition of his own. If you go back to the early parts of his career and you watch when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was a much more aggressive fighter and he would put himself in danger much more. And then when he became Money Mayweather, just got so much more brilliant defensively. And then he became the guy that you see shutting out Canelo Alvarez, stopping all these guys, just shutting everything down. He just became this defensive wizard.
As Floyd Mayweather evolved in his career, he transitioned into the money persona, focusing more on defense, precision, and ring IQ rather than pure aggression. Joe Rogan has praised this shift, highlighting Mayweather's ability to control fights while taking minimal damage. He even remarked that, in his view, Mayweather stands among the greatest because he mastered the art of not getting hit, staying just aggressive enough to win while remaining almost untouchable. What makes it even more impressive, Rogan noted, is that Mayweather often stands right in front of his opponents, yet still manages to avoid their punches with incredible timing and awareness.
Floyd Mayweather used to be having these crazy workouts and he would crack open a Pepsi and people are like, what the f is he doing? Like, he's crazy. That guy never drank, never partied, never was out of shape, never got fat, would run home from the club at 2 o'clock in the morning. If boxing is hit and don't get hit, who's better than Floyd? Right. 0 people. He definitely cracked him at the end of that round and wobbled him. And then it was right at the bell. And so then Floyd got back on his bike and started outboxing him.
Is Ali the same fighter that got beat by a fighter with 7 fights? Every time boxing come on, you don't bring up Muhammad Ali name. You don't bring up Mike Tyson name. You always bring up Floyd Mayweather name because I'm still a face of boxing.
When you think about Floyd talking about greater than Ali,
he's very delusional. Listen, he can't take his kid to school by himself. And he talking about he's great. He's a little scared man. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people.
Joe Rogan believes that much of the dislike toward Floyd Mayweather comes from his flashy lifestyle and bold personality. On Asterisk, the Joe Rogan Experience Asterisk, he pointed out that Mayweather constantly shows off his wealth, million-dollar watches, private jets, and luxury homes, which can come across as arrogant and spark envy among fans. Rogan explained that this actually works in Floyd's favor, saying people tune in to watch him fight because they want to see him lose, even though he rarely does that at the same time. Rogan acknowledged that behind the image, Mayweather's success is built on serious discipline and work ethic, suggesting that the money persona is not accidental but a smart, calculated part of his brand.
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like this is $1 million worth of watches, this watch goes for $2 million, and they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million, and so you hate him.
You feel that disappointment that the fans felt that maybe you didn't get the best Manny Pacquiao that night?
We're not going to do that. We're not going to talk about that. You was one of the guys that believed in Pacquiao.
I did.
Okay. So now we don't want you to back out the block. And I told you before, that was easy work. So if you believe in Pacquiao, you need to go back and say, you need to sit down and do a story and say, you know what? I believed in Pacquiao and it's his fault. It's not Mayweather's fault because Mayweather did what he always do. Be a calculated fighter, be a smart fighter, and find a way to win.
And I did that because I said that although there was a problem with his shoulder, whether it existed or not, I always said there was no. Wait.
Floyd was great, but he didn't want smoke with Winky. He didn't want smoke with Winky. He didn't want smoke with Triple G either. But there are people who look at that situation and be like, I mean, that's crazy. But that's what the great ones do. They do crazy shit. But Floyd did enough crazy stuff, though. Listen, I don't have that much criticism towards Floyd. I just don't think he's as great as everyone say. He's the greatest ever. That's silly talk to me. But he was jaw-dropping great. The impact of Floyd is my thing, and that's not criticism on Floyd. That's criticism on followers. So everybody followed what they perceived to be his blueprint. That's my criticism.
During an exhibition bout in Mexico City against John Gotti III, Floyd Mayweather sparked controversy by having the referee replaced mid-fight. After being warned for an alleged illegal shot, Mayweather reacted angrily, even pushing the referee and demanding he be removed. A new official was brought in, and the bout continued, with Mayweather later being unofficially declared the winner.
So Floyd Mayweather just got done with a boxing match against John Gotti III, and well, in the boxing match, specifically in the second round, Floyd Mayweather kicked out a ref, and they replaced it with a new one because the ref took too long pausing the fight. Let me know in the comments if this is one of the craziest things you've seen in a boxing match.
In another discussion, Joe Rogan pointed to Floyd Mayweather's influence by referencing the incident where he had a referee removed mid-fight. Rogan stressed that a move like that is only possible for someone at the very top of the sport, where fame, power, and financial influence all come into play. Moments like this highlight how Mayweather's status and wealth don't just shape his image, but can also impact what happens inside the ring itself.
The referee said Floyd Mayweather hit him behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100% correct. The punch landed the side of the head. It's a right hook. It's a perfect punch. And the referee was saying, watch the back of the head. He's like, what the are you talking about? And so he kicks the guy out, and they bring in a different referee who finishes the fight. It was insane.
According to Joe Rogan, Floyd Mayweather's intense competitiveness was shaped early on by his upbringing. With both his father and uncle deeply involved in boxing and highly competitive themselves, Floyd was pushed to excel from a young age. That environment helped mold him into the dominant, disciplined fighter he became during his prime. However, Rogan suggests that same relentless drive didn't stay confined to the ring. It carried over into how Mayweather approaches business and money today, influencing both his success and some of the controversies surrounding him.
You just look at boxing in terms of like how often you get hit versus how often do you hit the other guy. He's the best ever. The way him and his uncle and his father talk, I imagine they were always super competitive from the time they were young.
Yeah.
Like he grew up being they're super competitive. They're competitive about talking shit. They're competitive about all kinds of things. So it's like that hive, like growing up with that all the time and the boxing skill.
Floyd Mayweather has claimed that he earns as much as $300 million per month through smart investments, especially in real estate, saying he positioned himself with a strong business team to generate that kind of income. While it's true that Mayweather has made enormous money from major fights and exhibitions, many financial experts have questioned how realistic those numbers are. Critics argue that maintaining a consistent income at that level would require extremely rare and highly profitable investments, suggesting that such claims may be exaggerated rather than fully reflective of reality.
And Floyd Mayweather says he makes $300 million a month, which is $3.6 billion a year. He makes more money than Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, all of those guys. So I say all that to say this. The money that Canelo was looking for, they can easily come up with that money. Floyd Mayweather got it.
Well, listen, let me put it this way to you. If he makes, what did he say, $300 million a month?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm 6'4" and 240. And I know I'm 5'8" and a half and 240. So there you go. There's no way. There's that. If he makes $3 million a month on his investments, that's a lot. $36 million a year. That's a lot. So I know guys that are worth, $500-600 million, plenty of them, and they don't make $36 million a year, let alone $300 million a month. So there you go.
Floyd Mayweather has faced ongoing skepticism regarding his reported involvement in large-scale real estate deals, with some suggesting he may be overstating his role to maintain his image as a wealthy business mogul. Financial experts point out that transactions of this magnitude are typically handled by institutional investors or major development firms, often with clear documentation and structured partnerships rather than a single individual acting alone. Because of this, questions continue to circulate about the accuracy of the claims and whether his public image is fully supported by verifiable assets or partly shaped through branding and publicity. As a result, the details behind the reported $400 million figure remain unclear, and scrutiny around the situation continues to grow.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Here is what Floyd Mayweather had said at the time on a video that he posted on his Instagram.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me. Guess what? You can do the same.
All right. Well, now we're trying to figure out what happened, right, with Business Insider. So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before. I'm trying to understand what happened with this, but I know there's a story that's circulating, so just putting it out there. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm trying to understand as a real estate person myself, what exactly he is communicating when he's saying that he owns this, because they're trying to make it seem like he doesn't, but what it seems like is that he owns shares of these buildings, and it's a larger, it's part of an investment that he did.
Member of Floyd Mayweather's team, speaking off the record, has added more doubt to the ongoing discussion around his reported Manhattan real estate deal. According to the source, there is no confirmed investment partner tied to the transaction, which directly challenges earlier speculation that it may be part of a joint venture or larger institutional arrangement. Instead, the claim suggests Mayweather is presenting himself as the sole buyer, despite the scale of the deal raising questions within real estate circles. The contradiction has only intensified skepticism about how the transaction is structured and who, if anyone, is actually involved behind the scenes.
His team spoke off the record, and they actually tried to modify the story a little bit to get ahead of it. So it went from we own all the buildings with no partners to now their story is changing up a little bit. So they reached out to the Housing Partnership, a spokesperson. Now the Housing Partnership of NYC is a nonprofit group that is a partner in a majority of these like really huge like property deals. And it helps, the person buying it to qualify for tax breaks and grants and preserve the affordability of the portfolio apartments, right? If you're buying affordable housing, then you're gonna go through the NYC Housing Partnership. That never happened, okay? So the spokesperson says the Housing Partnership has not been advised of any sale, pending sale, or change in ownership. Generally, the partnership will be advised of the transfer and will be party to the transfer. That has not occurred. A person directly... Now, here's where Mayweather get on that BS, bro. All right, here's where the shady...
Joe Rogan has consistently praised the boxing style of Floyd Mayweather, especially his elite defensive abilities and highly calculated approach inside the ring. Rogan often points out how Mayweather controls the rhythm of a fight, forcing opponents to miss while carefully capitalizing on their mistakes. That he highlights Floyd's exceptional footwork, timing, and ring intelligence, which allow him to neutralize aggressive fighters with ease. According to Rogan, Mayweather's style represents a pure form of technical boxing, a masterclass in how to hit without being hit.
One of the things that people forget is that Floyd went through a big transition of his own. If you go back to the early parts of his career and you watch when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was a much more aggressive fighter and he would put himself in danger much more. And then when he became Money Mayweather, like as it got later and later in his life, he just got so much more brilliant defensively. And then he became the guy that you see shutting out Canelo Alvarez, stopping all these guys, just shutting everything down. He just became this defensive wizard to the point where you'd see world-class fighters like Sugar Shane Mosley. Once he recovered, he didn't really know what to do with Floyd. Floyd just had the answers to his style. He had figured him out.
Disciplined and calculated approach has not only helped Floyd Mayweather remain undefeated, but also redefined what it means to be a defensive genius in boxing. Joe Rogan's admiration highlights Mayweather's status as one of the sport's all-time greats, combining elite finesse, high-level fight intelligence, and a relentless commitment to perfection inside the ring.
Floyd's undefeated too, but he's not the greatest boxer of all time, right?
It's arguable he is. It's arguable he is.
I don't think so.
Listen, man,
I feel like he is. He's my favorite.
He's been hit hard maybe 4 times his whole fucking career. Right. You stop and think about how many fights he fought against elite guys. Not just great defense, like the best defense of all time.
Yeah.
You're talking about a guy who's fought everybody. He fought everybody. He fought Canelo. He fought Pacquiao. Maybe he didn't fight Pacquiao when he was in his prime, and maybe he fought Canelo when he was young and made him cut extra weight. He did some smart shit. But at the end of the day,
that's part of being a fighter, though, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, the fucking guy's 49 in Conor McGregor. That's what he is. That's what I say.
The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission charged both celebrities for illegally promoting securities, resulting in Floyd Mayweather paying $614,775 in penalties and also being ordered to pay an additional $152,725. Meanwhile, the founders of Centra Tech, including Saurabh Sharma, were arrested and later convicted of wire fraud and conspiracy after defrauding investors of nearly $25 million.
Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather are being sued over an alleged crypto pump and dump scam. Investors are accusing the celebrities of promoting a no-name crypto called Ethereum Max.
Do your homework, do your research.
I would not move forward with an endorsement that a celebrity had recommended just on the fact that they were a celebrity.
Kajanwa Moit teaches branding and marketing at Parsons School of Design at the New School.
You know, they did what every scammer would normally do, which is to name it after something that is trusted. In fact, what we came to find is Ethereum Max has nothing to do with Ethereum. It doesn't even sit on the Ethereum blockchain, but it's a way of duping people.
Kim Kardashian promoted the coin on Instagram, asking, "Are you guys into crypto?" this is not financial advice, and names Ethereum Max.
Kim Kardashian's case, it was declared on the Instagram post that it was a paid promotion.
Floyd Mayweather endorsed the coin at a boxing match with YouTube star Logan Paul.
This is the best day of my life.
Accepting the coin as payment for boxing tickets.
Trying to buy celebrity names to promote their assets. And so the ultimate question is, should someone who's being paid for promoting a product be ultimately held accountable?
Crypto and blockchain attorney Felix Shipkevich says the celebs are only doing their job of promotion. He gave an example of a celebrity promoting a car advertisement.
You know, sometime down the road, this EV has major issues, goes up in flames, or the brakes stop working. Are we going to end up suing that?
Floyd Mayweather has built a strong public persona around an extremely extravagant lifestyle. From luxury cars and custom jewelry to public displays of cash, he has consistently embraced the money image as part of his personal brand. However, while his boxing career, endorsements, and business ventures have earned him massive wealth, his financial dealings have not been free from controversy. Over the years, some of his promotional activities and business associations have sparked ethical questions, leading critics to debate how much of his image reflects pure success versus carefully crafted branding.
I'm always bringing the people into my life. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. I have to bring you guys into my life on a daily basis. Check it out. Check out my view again. Once again, I should say. The Michael Jackson steps.
What's your take on Floyd Mayweather's boxing career and his distinctive fighting style?